This quote from Lenin's work, What is to be Done, is quite instructive of the attitude he takes toward revolutionary organization. Class political consciousness can be brought to the workers only from without. That is, only from outside the economic struggle, from outside the sphere of relations between the workers and the employers. Leninism is predicated on a fundamental lack of faith in the workers to
Oh my God, this is so wrong.
organize themselves and to arrive upon a coherent conception of their class position without a party to lead them.
Oh boy. Okay. No, it's not. I mean, Lenin had probably the most amount of faith in workers as anyone, more than anyone else in the world. But the thing is that this is just literally not understanding the situation. So you guys decide, should I read from What is to be Done, or should I quickly read from the history of the CPU-SU so that we kind of, like this one just like summarizes quickly what was going on with the Rabotcha Diallo group and the Economist group and the young. Let's just do this one because it's stupid. Okay. So let's see. Iskra, which means spark, is Lenin's idea from What is to be Done. Okay. So when when the older Bolsheviks like Lenin and all the other older people were sent to Siberia to exile, these like youngins came. So let me read this. The economists maintained that the workers should engage only in economic struggle. As to the political struggle, that should be left to the liberal bourgeoisie. So the economists wanted workers to only strike for higher wages, but not work on overthrowing the czar, because they thought that the liberal bourgeoisie should work on overthrowing the czar. And Lenin's like, okay, this is really stupid, because if you wait for the liberals to overthrow the czar, they will never do that because they're liberals. So that is what he's talking about in the economic struggles. In Lenin's eyes, this tenet was a desertion of Marxism and a denial of a necessity for an independent political party of the working class, an attempt to convert the working class into a political appendage of the bourgeoisie. So, in fact, if Anarch had read What is to be Done, he would be realizing that Lenin wanted to create a party just for the workers. So without the bourgeoisie. So it's the opposite, like 100% opposite. Like this is so wrong. I don't even know like how. This is like saying that the grass is orange. No. The grass is neon pink. Kind of wrong. And saying that grass doesn't photosynthesize or something like that's the level of wrong. Because this was precisely the opposite. Because Lenin trusted the workers, he said that their struggle should not be confined just to the economic struggle, but it should come from without more than from the relationship between the worker and the boss. So this is literally getting What is to be Done 100% opposite. But in 1899, a group of economists, random people, who later became cadets, issued a manifesto in which they opposed revolutionary Marxism and insisted the idea of an independent political party of the proletariat and of the independent political demands by the working class be renounced. The economists held that the political struggle was a matter for the bourgeoisie liberal, and that as far as workers were concerned, the economic struggle against the employers was enough for them. When Lenin acquainted himself with this opportunist document, he called a conference of Marxist political exiles living in vicinity. 17 of them met and, headed by Lenin, issued a trenchant protest denouncing the views of the economists. This protest was written by Lenin and circulated among the Marxist organizations all over the country and played an outstanding part in the development of Marxist ideas and of the Marxist Party in Russia. The Russian economists advocated the same views as opponents of Marxism in the social democratic parties abroad, who were known as Bernsteinites, that is, followers of the opportunist Bernstein. Lenin's struggle against economists was therefore at the same time a struggle against opportunism in an international scale. The fight against economism, the fight for the creation of an independent political party of the proletariat, was chiefly waged by Iskra, the illegal newspaper founded by Lenin.
Blanqui did not attempt to conceive of the socialist future, nor when, how, and where the transition from vanguard rule to worker control might take place. It was far more important that the previous ruling class was defeated at all costs. This is not the last we'll hear of such a viewpoint, although its next adherents will not call themselves Blanquists.
Okay, first of all, oh my God, it's not an entire sentence. So let's, he is actually getting half of a sentence, which is kind of bad faith, but let's see. The Martinov formula has some value for us, not because it illustrates Martinov's aptitude for confusing things, but because it pointedly expresses the basic error that all economists commit, namely their conviction that it is possible to develop the class political consciousness of the workers from within, so to speak, from their economic struggle, by making this struggle the exclusive, or at least the main starting point, by making it exclusive or at least the main basis. Such a view is radically wrong. Piqued by our polemics against them, the economists refuse to ponder deeply over the origins of these disagreements, with the results that we simply cannot understand one another. It is as if we spoke in different tongues. Now, here's where this quote begins. Class consciousness can be brought to the workers only from without. That is, only from outside. Okay, only from without. He means that is only from outside the sphere of economic struggle, from outside the sphere of relationships between workers and employers. The sphere from which alone it is possible to obtain this knowledge is the sphere of relationships of all classes and strata to the state and government, and the sphere of interrelations between all classes. So he's saying that the workers need to be involved in all spheres of society, and they need to understand how all of these, not just from the, this is 100% backwards and wrong. And oh my God, if he weren't named Anarch, I would suspect he was like a total narc for quote or maybe he doesn't understand what he reads. I don't know. But this is so wrong, because this is not what was going on. Like I said, with that, I think I'm going to have to head out today. But let me know what you think.
Still asking what is to be done? Well, hit like on this video and then subscribe to our channel.